Good morning, everybody. This is Eureka John with Eureka Street Crypto Hub, broadcasting live on Theta TV from Leander, Texas. It is 5:22 in the morning, and it is July 15th, 2021. Man, this month of July has just cruised on by so far. We're already halfway through, and July has been kind of a boring market for the crypto world, but hey man, it is what it is. I'm here for the long term, so it doesn't really bother me. That's what this episode's going to be about. It's basically just going to be kind of about some FUD. And if you don't know what FUD is, it's FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt about the crypto space. And undoubtedly, you probably heard a lot of FUD. This is what happens. But I mean, when the internet first came out, I mean, there was tons of FUD, and people were like, I don't know about this internet, and they just thought it was a fad, apparently. The internet is a fad. And all these computer nerds, are just gonna go back in their holes in their parents' basement, and that didn't really happen. The bubble popped, and I was listening to Robert Breedlove's show, What Is Money, and what's his name? Frisbee. What's his first name? I think maybe it's Robert Frisbee. I don't know. His guest on there, the Frisbee series, some British guy, and he's pretty funny and has some really interesting stories. I'd highly recommend listening to that show. He said the thing about the bubbles and the Tulip Bubble specifically is the Tulip Bubble, when it blew up, yes, it valued all these tulips, and this happened in the Netherlands around the 1700s, and everybody bought all these tulips as status symbols, and the value of tulips went sky high through the roof, and people were even buying land and houses and everything like that with the price of tulips, and that bubble popped. Okay, and a lot of people were stuck with these tulips that really weren't worth anything after that bubble popped. But it just so happens, because there was that bubble, what was left after that bubble was an amazing flower industry in Holland. And so, yes, a lot of people lost money in the tulip bubble, but what was left in the aftermath was a flower industry that is still there to this day for the international trading hub for the world of flowers. And so that's supplied a lot of jobs and a lot of income and a lot of money and a lot of cultural distinction for the country. So that's just one silver lining of something that would be called a bubble, and crypto has been called a bubble, and there are a lot of things that have been called a bubble. The internet was called a bubble. And it did burst, and a lot of people lost a lot of money temporarily, and that's what happens. And what came from it is Silicon Valley. You have all the riches and wealth that abound in Silicon Valley. And I grew up in Texas and in Houston, and I didn't really, I guess maybe a middle class family, and I thought that we were rich, because according to all our, we weren't rich. I mean, there were some people driving around in really nice cars and stuff like that in my suburb, but we thought we were well off. And then I moved to New York City for graduate school when I was about 23 or 24 or something like that, and there I saw some real wealth, and I got educated as to what wealth actually is. And the same thing in California, in Silicon Valley, and I've been there and I've seen real wealth. And so it was kind of a realization that I did not grow up wealthy, and I'm an absolute total plebe, and it's fine, whatever, it's just, but you think you grow up one way, and then whenever you actually get out of your little sphere of influence or bubble, you realize that you are just a small little speck on the face of this earth. And yeah, I guess I fit the absolute description of a total liberal arts major with an inflated ego and some cognitive dissonance. And I had to grow out of that. And here I am now trying to jump in and learn as much as I can and kind of be reborn. And that's kind of anytime, like I constantly say, anytime that you're not learning, you're in the process of dying. And it's a rebirth process. Every time, at my age, at 45, I still throw myself into new stuff. I played rugby starting at the age of like 41, just because I wanted to get out of, break out of my mold, try something that I'd honestly feared my entire life as a skateboarder. The last thing I would ever want to do is join some team sport with a bunch of, jocks who beat me up and stuff like that in middle school and high school. And, I carried that baggage with me for the rest of my life. So then I ended up saying, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to join the rugby team. And I did. And it was one of the best experiences I ever had in my life. I mean, I suck at rugby, but I mean, it taught me that people are not, can't be compartmentalized into certain lifestyles and categories. If you jump into a lifestyle, you will find that there are people that you like or don't like, regardless of the lifestyle. And that's what I found. And then, now I do boxing and I love that. And it's, that's a little more my speed than rugby, but it's, like I said, you grow up one way and you have to intentionally, a lot of times, break yourselves out of these molds in order to be reborn and to start off as an amateur, to not be the big fish in a little pond and to not be the cock of the walk, and be the little guy and constantly remind yourself what it means to be the little guy and the underdog. All right. Anyway, that's enough for my little, moral rant there. Let's go to the scoreboard. I'm not shilling anything. This is not that type of show. All this is not really objective. It's about talking about stuff I like, but I'm not being paid to talk about anything. And don't take my financial advice for anything. And I'm not your teacher, man. So do your own research. This is just me and my learning about crypto. So Bitcoin, $32,573.33. Ethereum, $1,966.78. Tether, dollar. All right. Binance Coin, 322.03. Cardano, $1.24. XRP, 61 cents. USDC, $1. Dogecoin, 19 cents. How is Dogecoin still on here? Oh my gosh, man. If anything, if it comes out of all this FUD for the month of July, it should be Dogecoin being kicked out of the top 10 for sure. Polkadot, $13.55. Binance stablecoin $1. So we got 3 stablecoins in the top 10. Uniswap $17.79. Bitcoin Cash $459.05. Litecoin $128.58. Solana $30.46. Chainlink $16.57. Wrapped Bitcoin. Okay, that's the same as Bitcoin because it's the wrapped version of it. It's just put on Ethereum. For those that you don't know, when you see anything that's wrapped, it just means that it is a token that was born on one chain that's been have a little piece of code added to it to be able to, it's a representation of one token on one blockchain of another token that is native to another blockchain. So for instance, in Bitcoin's case, Bitcoin and Ethereum don't play well together. So this is an Ethereum representation of that Bitcoin. They locked up the Bitcoin on the Bitcoin blockchain so nobody can access it or anything. And then they have, in exchange, given you a representation of that Bitcoin on the Ethereum platform so you can do stuff with it, like put it into decentralized finance applications and stuff like that and earn interest and yield on it. So, yeah, and that's wrapped Bitcoin for you. Polygon, Matic. You a lot of times hear people say Polygon Matic. The reason is because it used to just be Matic. And there was the Matic project and Matic token. And for some weird cockamamie reason, I have no idea why, they decided to rebrand themselves as Polygon. And the token ticker is still Matic. So that's the little history of that. And that's down to 89 cents. Ethereum Classic, 44.13. Stellar, 23. The clown coin ICP Insane Clown Posse is 37.10. Theta is a solid even $5. That is a buy to me. If you're continuing to stack some of these worthwhile projects during this time, you'll come out of this. You might not be the OG of people pre 2017 and pre 2015 and 13 even, but you'll at least be a gangsta. So I'm just continuously stacking during this time, and that's what I'm going to do. I don't know if you're doing that too, but this is not to me a time to sell. VeChain 7 cents. Let's see what else we got here. Aave 275.94. Is there anything in the past, let's say 24 hours that has really just made it? Axie Infinity, the NFT token, that's up 23%. Engine Coin 12.9. Decentraland. So a lot of these gaming type tokens, they're doing very well right now. So it's interesting. And then Blockstacks here is a way to put smart contracts on top of Bitcoin. So, and then Flow, I have no idea what that is. Chili's is they have a partnership with the UFC, but it's kind of a sports, mainly over in Europe, but used for sports and NFTs as well. That type of stuff for people to buy in and have some kind of vote or favor with their sports team. So once again, games, anything to do with entertainment and games seems to be doing very well right now. Engine Coin, same thing. All right. Well, interesting take in the past 24 hours. Anything to do with games. Let's see what's going on with 7 days here. Axie Infinity up 107.1. Blockstacks 34.9. I need to see what this flow's about. Titan Swap. Okay. Leo token. All right. So nothing's really up. There's only a few that are up a whole lot. Axie Infinity is doing very well right now. It's probably not a good time actually to just jump into it. Up 107.1%. I think you might have missed the boat on that one. But we'll see. Anyway, so let's talk about this market for a little bit. I get the little Bankless newsletter, and I didn't know this existed. I know there's bull and bear markets. I don't think we're in like a full-on bear market, but we are in a crab market. In a crab market, did the recent drawdown hurt a bit? No one really likes when number go down. The euphoria of up only is gone, and the whole market goes sober. We're in the crab market now. Choppy, sideways moves, just crabbing along. But these market conditions present opportunity. During these times, we put our heads down and get to work. This is the time to start building. It's the time to really dig into what you're investing in and build your conviction around that. That's the only way you'll succeed on a multi-year time frame. And I'm here, multi-year. I'm in it to win it, man. And I don't really know what winning it means, but I mean, to me, it's just not even. I don't really have an end goal in mind because I'm doing this day to day and learning things day to day and learning this new tech day to day. And to me, that's what it's all about. And it just so happens time passes, and then I hopefully will end up a very wealthy person in the future because of it. But that's not the end. I mean, obviously it is kind of the end goal, but it's not. I mean, I'm enjoying where I'm at right now, So anyway, with that in mind, there's two things you need to be aware of while we're in these market conditions. Some things will go to zero, which lead us to number 2. There are lemons and peaches. If you want to figure which one is which, hint, you want peaches. Actually, this doesn't really look like a peach. It looks more like a turnip. But anyway, I like turnips. Yeah, I like beets. That's a beet. Yeah, I do a beet shake every day. It's great for the blood pressure. Today Eugene walks through these insights and the learnings he had being a TradFi investor in emerging markets. Okay, so I don't know who Eugene is and where this is, but there's a new paradigm in value and ownership. The number may have changed, but the fundamentals haven't. Keep your eye on the prize. Here's how to survive in the crab market. Oh, here it is. Here's Eugene Lim, the guest writer. Okay, as investors that cut our teeth in the emerging market equities, we've looked at crypto over the past few years with great excitement. We know very well the difference between a market price and what is actually happening on the ground. I read this article yesterday too. So how did I not know that was there? We know that, okay. In this piece, we dig to understand how this can be applied to the enormous opportunity that is crypto. The parallels to investing in the emerging markets of old are stark. There is potential everywhere in bucket loads, and every founder can spin a fantastic story of how their particular project is going to revolutionize the world. The broader narrative of potential growth enables it. And by this time, I've heard so many theories of how all these crypto projects are going to absolutely revolutionize the world. Discerning the difference between a potential winner and a potential zero, there's going to be a lot of them, is a challenge in the best of times, stocks and crypto alike, a result of the asymmetry of information between founders, investors, and the broader communities around these projects. But in crypto, that challenge is compounded by the fact that we are still so early in crypto's life cycle. Some of the winners of the future may not even have been invented, much less thought of, not even a twinkle in their daddy's eye. While the winners of today may well fade into obscurity in the years to come. So who's going to be the next America Online or Netscape, basically? Or they were winners one day, and then where'd they go the next? That said, our message is one of encouragement and motivation, especially when we find ourselves in range-bound, choppy markets, crab markets. Volatility is par for the course, but given how early stage crypto is in general, fundamentals will show themselves in asset prices as dispersion, where the good is separated from the bad. On the one hand, there has been immense progress in what crypto can do, especially in the realm of DeFi, and we must not let volatility and market dislocations distract us from that fact. On the other hand, there's large amounts of worthless debris that has been dredged up by the rising tide, capitalizing on the hype cycle, which could well head back towards zero as the tide goes out. Yes, the sirree Bob, there's a lot of that. Maintaining a healthy skepticism against one's incumbent opinions, acknowledging that one may be wrong, allows us to re-examine our convictions and evolve with the market. And if, after close scrutiny and open criticism, we remain convinced that our views were right, all the better for the conviction. Hey, what's up, all set? How you doing? And you are feeling very bullish. See those rockets right there? Just as it wasn't the case that every emerging market upstart ended up becoming a resounding success, so it is also true here in crypto that no amount of big picture potential will make those challenges disappear. At the beginning of the internet, you know what people thought was going to be huge? Pets.com. It wasn't the right time, and then later on, there came out an application after the bubble popped that did the exact same thing that Pets.com wanted to do, and that became successful. Although I can't remember the name of this app, but I think you know it. Anyway, survival in markets is not an entitlement, no matter how strong the big picture narrative. Just ask the legends of dot-com boom investors who never saw their money again. So survival in markets is not an entitlement. Just because you make it through doesn't mean you deserve tons of money and being a billionaire or whatever. Avoiding losses is as important as making gains, if not more important. The unadulterated bull market of number go up and wind moon and Lambo may not persist, but all the good news is that for those who put in the work, there remains potential for manifold returns. Manifold returns. Let me visualize. What is a manifold? A manifold is something that distributes something from an input to a bunch of different outputs. Okay. All right. So many types of returns in various directions is what a manifold return seems to be. Okay. Sometimes you got to stop and think about what you're actually reading and say, what are they actually saying? What are they envisioning there? They're a manifold. You have an intake line, and then you have a bunch of outputs going in several directions. Crypto offers those who put in the effort to learn, examine, and take sensible risks a generational opportunity to make exponential wealth. It is more often than accessible than any traditional equity investment, with founders interacting directly with their communities and on-chain metric transparency as standard. No investment banks are around to build restrictions on information access because those barriers can't exist in an on-chain world. And you, Bankless Nation, are miles ahead of the average big institutional investor when it comes to crypto. The institutions will have to buy from you. Let that sink in for a minute. So that's why I'm holding some of these tokens that I do believe the institutions will be buying. I do hold Chainlink. I hold Quant. Ethereum. I think Ethereum and a lot of these tokens are the banking institutions are going to be implementing a lot of this technology. Quant and Fetch AI, and they're going to figure out, whoa, we need to buy these, and then they're going to have to buy from you, basically. And so the birth of decentralized finance and the potential it has to improve, or in some cases supplant, the offering of traditional banking services all around the world in developing economies is profound. We attended our first DeFi conference at Imperial College in London in 2019 out of pure curiosity. We realized we had stumbled upon something special. Mind blown is an understatement, although even at the time it wasn't yet clear how anyone would make money out of anything. And I remember in 2019 when Aave was first being talked about, or maybe it was early 2020, whatever, and they were presenting to like a small university classroom how Aave worked, and I was trying to figure out how Aave worked. When it finally clicked, I was just like, holy crap, this is huge. This is right now in the academies, and this is being talked about, in almost a hypothetical manner. But once it gets going, and once the institutions catch on, and just like I talked about yesterday, the DeFi mullet, fintech, traditional finance in the front, and then with all the gears turning under the hood of DeFi, yeah, this is going to be big. So this is a great thing to be educated about early. But one thing struck us: the sheer number of smart young people who have dedicated their time and resources to developing a permissionless banking system based purely on code, free from interfering third-party middlemen, is almost a statistical guarantee to produce some brilliant creative outcomes. And fascinatingly, the mindset was one of cooperation with each other and not competition, as we see elsewhere. So a lot of these people are, super smart millennials and Gen Zers. The boomers have all the money. Gen Xers are starting to understand, and they're starting to inherit a lot of that money. And then the millennials are the ones building a lot of this stuff on the code, and Gen Zers. And they don't have the financial resources yet, but once they get older and do, watch out, because this stuff is going to be taking center stage as it already kind of is. 2 years on, price volatility aside, the crypto community, and in particular the projects in DeFi, have much to be proud of. From decentralized loans to yield aggregators to automated market makers, the degree of innovation has been astounding. Look at this little ecosystem right here. Let's just take a quick look. Wow, it's a mess. So you have all these protocols, these DeFi protocols. Users shared by two protocols, and that's users shared by 3 protocols. Hold on, let me get this. See if I can get this whole thing in here for you guys. Oh lordy. There we go. All right. User network of DeFi protocols. Look at that. InstaDApp, Augur, DYDX, Synthetics. I don't even see Aave on here. Uniswap liquidity protocols. I don't see Urine Finance on here. There's Alchemix now. There's a whole lot of different types of DeFi protocols, and I don't even know some of these here. Nuo, I don't know that. I need to cover InstaDApp, and so interesting. Users shared by 4 or more protocols. Wow. So. Interesting. So anyway, so let's get out of this. Okay. All right. On the flip side, crypto is highly public. It is a market that has no barriers to entry. The tides of liquidity that have come into the system, coupled with the hype machine of Twitter, memes, YouTube, TikTok, and everything else in between, have turned the market into the Wild West. No safeguards, no regulations, and they're all around free-for-all. Right now we have the SEC and all these regulators freaking out, all this FUD going around. Everybody's saying that it's for nothing but criminals, and people trying, libertarian bro bras and stuff like that. And it's way more than that, man. Let's go over here to this tweet, and Insight 1 stuff will go to 0. Sure it will. Insight 2, lemons versus peaches market structure. DeFi has caught the world's eye. Yes, the institutions are jumping in. And then let's see here. Anything else that particularly stands out that I need to cover in detail? No, not right now. Okay, so let's go over here to this tweet by Jackson Palmer. Dan Held, he says, "Isn't this the 4th time you've rage quit?" So anyway, let's go through some of this FUD. I got, about 5 more minutes here. All right, so Jackson Palmer, if you don't know, is the founder of Dogecoin. He's one of 2 founders, and one of them is this guy, and he's definitely makes himself known and out there. The other guy, I can't even think of his name. He's low key, seems like a pretty mellow dude, and he actually did most of the meat of the programming apparently. But anyway, Jackson Palmer, founder of Dogecoin, and then has this like rage quit cryptocurrency and Doge several times. And before at the beginning of the show, I was talking about putting yourself in positions to learn and be born again, and it also, you need to put yourself in positions of positivity and of optimism rather than pessimism, and you'll create that world of positivity around you if you constantly put yourself into that mindset and circumstance. Well, I just wonder if the many times that this guy has rage quit, if he's just producing this negativity around him. Maybe I have cognitive dissonance, So this is why I talk about all different perspectives. So I might not agree with this guy, but let's hear what he has to say. He says, I'm often asked if I will return to cryptocurrency or begin regularly sharing my thoughts on the topic again. Well, he's doing that right now. My answer is a wholehearted no, but to avoid repeating myself, I figure it might be worthwhile briefly explaining why here. Who can reply? Only people Jackson has mentioned, and he doesn't mention anybody. So, after years of studying it, I believe that cryptocurrency is an inherently right-wing, hyper-capitalistic technology built primarily to amplify the wealth of its proponents through a combination of tax avoidance, diminished regulatory oversight, and artificially enforced scarcity. And then he goes on to say, despite claims of decentralization, in quotes, the cryptocurrency industry is controlled by a powerful cartel of wealthy figures who, with time, have evolved to incorporate many of the same institutions tied to the existing centralized financial system they supposedly set out to replace. Okay. The cryptocurrency industry leverages a network of shady business connections, bot influencers, and pay-for-play media outlets to perpetuate a cult-like get-rich-quick funnel designed to extract new money from the financially desperate and naive. Financial exploitation undoubtedly existed before cryptocurrency, but cryptocurrency is almost purpose-built to make the funnel of profiteering more efficient for those at the top and less safeguarded for the vulnerable. Cryptocurrency is like taking the worst parts of today's capitalist system, e.g. corruption, fraud, inequality, and using software to technically limit the use of interventions, audits, regulations, and taxation, which serves as protections or safety nets for the average person. Lose savings account password? Your fault. Fall victim to a scam? Your fault. Billionaires manipulating markets? They're geniuses. This is the type of dangerous free-for-all capitalism cryptocurrency was unfortunately architected to facilitate since its inception. But these days, even the most modest critique of cryptocurrency will draw smears from the powerful figures in control of the industry and the ire of retail investors who they've sold the false promise of one day being a fellow billionaire. Good luck, good faith debate is near impossible. For these reasons, I simply no longer go out of my way to engage in public discussion regarding cryptocurrency. It doesn't align with my politics or belief system, and I don't have the energy to try and discuss that with those unwilling to engage in a grounded conversation. I applaud those with energy to continue asking the hard questions and applying the lens of rigorous skepticism all technology should be subjected to. New technology can make the world a better place, but not when decoupled from its inherent politics or societal consequences. So first of all, he is disengaging from cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency and blockchain is a technology. It can be used for good and evil. There is good and bad about it. Encryption is a technology. Nuclear technology is a technology. It can all be used for good and evil. And there are people that will be bad actors in any type of new technology. And it is the responsibility of humanity to find those bad actors and try to use technology to eliminate those bad actors and to progress and further the technology as it evolves. No solid science or technology stops where it is. And this can also apply in the wide world of what we have going on with all the Rona stuff and the jabs. There is no science that stops right there. So if any politician or anybody is trying to tell you the science is settled, it absolutely is not. If anything, it opens the door for a lot more questions. But you know, he's right about some of these things, like the get rich quick funnel designed to extract new money. Whenever he got out of cryptocurrency, right after the cryptocurrency boom in 2017, I believe. And I can't remember when he got out of Doge, but basically there was a lot of stuff going on in Doge where there were people doing some hyper capitalistic behavior, and one of the people that was partnered with their project took a lot of the funds and ran off with them, I think. And I mean, I don't really know all the details, but it sounds like they had a solid group of people that were pushing the Doge project forward, and then one of the people, turned into a bad actor and ran off with a bunch of money and scammed all of them. And he sounds salty, and he sounds like he's surrounding himself with this pessimistic worldview, and that's basically the results he's getting. And he's rage quit like 4 times, apparently, according to Dan Held. And as he's just caught up in this cycle of, this cognitive dissonance that, everything is corrupt. And everything may be corrupt, but it takes the optimism on people's parts in order to counteract that corruption and the pessimism. So anyway, so let's look at some top 5 emerging trends to follow in blockchain in 2021. But anyway, I just wanted to get his opinion out there. People say, wow, the best way to approach FUD is to just ignore it. No, not necessarily. Talk about it, bring it out there, and I'm not trying to debate what he's saying, but I just want to acknowledge that not every opinion is happy-go-lucky and flowers and optimism, and let's persevere and hold on to your saddle along for the ride for this cryptocurrency. Some people are just that they want out, and whatever. I'm not going to judge them for that, I guess. I don't agree because I'm in it for the long run and I believe in this tech, and that's why I hold on to a lot of these projects that stay true to this tech and not these meme coins like Doge, like he invented as a joke. And obviously, if you invent something like that and it starts catching on and making money, there will be people that will capitalize and corrupt that. But here's some top 5 emerging blockchain technology trends to follow. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but it's blockchain as a service. That's what Baseline and Unibright and everything like that is trying to do. A lot of people are creating blockchain companies to build blockchains for other companies that want to implement blockchain into their company. Verifiable credential and self-sovereign identity. Basically, IDs that contain all your information and give you ownership of information and data about you that you can authorize out as a administrator permissions to various entities to be able to use that data about you. Decentralized finance. We just finished talking a lot about decentralized finance. Putting the financial tools formerly used by professionals into the average person's hands. NFTs, non-fungible tokens. Yes, this can be done for art and digital rights management and stuff like that. It can also be used to apply an NFT tag onto things like portfolios and tokenized real estate and things like that. So there's a lot of use cases developing for NFTs. And then CBDCs. Not sure how I feel about this one. Fed coins, programmable money that can determine how, when, why, where, and how fast you need to use money. Can be given out in airdrops, digital dollars in cryptocurrency format. So anyway, those are 5 use cases in 2021 that a lot of people are focusing on. Try to focus around projects that that are specifically centered around these 5 pieces of technology or 5 trends, and you should probably do okay, I think. Again, that's my opinion, but that's what I try to find whenever I'm looking around at various cryptocurrencies. Is this a meme coin, or is it some kind of 1,000 APY get rich quick scheme, or is this a project that focuses around these 5 almost pillars of things, of technology areas going on right now? So that's just something to look out for. All right, man. That in mind, I've gone over by about 5 minutes. So let me start up this outro music. Anyway, all I'm saying is you create the world around you. I know I've done a lot of moral ranting today, but if you see the world, as negative, then you'll generally think that way. And I like to think of things as positive, and good things are happening. And regardless of this crabby market and all this war that is basically starting all around the world, there is a silver lining to this. Just like the tulips in Holland, and when that bubble popped, it left the entire international flower industry for that country to be able to lean on as one of the pillars of their economy. So, and then the dot-com bubble left Silicon Valley, and it gave California a lot of wealth and something to lean on over there. And so, yeah. All right. Well, that being said, I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and who knows what will be the topic of choice. So enjoy your day, and see ya. Bye. Oh, give me a thumbs up on the video thing. It helps the algorithm and stuff like that. And all right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.